Such a satisfying sound.
We're headed across the pond to the UK to check out one of Britain's most iconic brands, Barbour. I'll be getting a behind-the-scenes look at the Barbour Archives.
How old is this jacket?
That's from the mid-1930s.
Talk design inspiration.
Great jacket, lined in our classic tartan.
And see firsthand how some of the most legendary jackets are made.
I've seen it all come together.
We're diving deep into the world of Barbour. Let's go.
Hey,
Ian.
Ben, how are you?
Great to meet you.
How's your trip?
It was great.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the UK.
Yeah, it's
the
great to be
Northeast.
here. Obviously, Barbour headquarters with factory, talking a lot about the history of Barbour. I mean, this is where Barbour was founded still.
Oh yeah, 1894. John Barbour moved down from Scotland. He spotted the opportunity to produce, really stout outerwear for the guys who needed that kind of protection against the North Sea weather. So, and we've got a few of those pieces in our archive which we can show you.
We could talk about the history all day, but no better place to actually see the history.
One of the first jackets, which is one of my favourites, is we call this the Finley Barmac. So this is a drayman's jacket, or a drayman's cape, I should say. So if you want to slip it on.
try it on?
Yeah, no arms needed.
Oh, no arms.
So it's a cape, basically.
Cape's coming back.
Yeah. It's got the reins, etc.
Yeah,
It's all
I
kind
can
of buttoned
feel
up.
it,
It's got a
yeah.
sou'wester on. It's pouring rain. With this button on, you can just throw the cape off,
And you don't
and you don't get too hot. It's a good example of workwear in a way.
Sure.
Of garments made for a purpose in that sense.
When was this jacket first made?
This one dates from 1910. Wow. And this is what we call the riding coat. I don't know if you want to try that on.
Yeah, love to.
You have to kind of pop your legs in first,
I gotta put my legs in.
through the stirrups.
I've never done this
Yeah.
before.
Get one leg in there. It's a little bit of a job to get on, but
Fat guy in a little coat.
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
It's a little bit of a tight fit.
So how old is this jacket?
That's from the mid-1930s.
1930s.
Can't put an exact date. I think it's 36 to 38, something
Yeah.
like that, just before the war. So these two are made for the same officer, Captain Cotton, who's an officer in the British Parachute Regiment.
It's unbelievable how much detail.
If you feel that, it's just super, super heavy.
Yeah.
And then he's got his blood group here, written on a pocket. That's all his details, etc. In case he's injured.
It's a museum in a jacket. What a history lesson.
And then we start to move on to the jackets, which began to build heavier weight zip. Then you start seeing the kind of the round puller start to come in, continually refining things as we go along. So the classic Beadle, that's the kind of pocket setup which we're now known for.
Right.
So the Beaufort really is the same jacket, but the pocket here is vertical rather than at an angle. Those two jackets
And those were, to your point, kind of the two that, when we think about the modern day sort of Barbour and the jackets that many of us are still wearing and are so relevant now.
Those are the jackets.
I mean, it's amazing.
The nature of wax is we're very lucky as a business in the sense of the more you wear wax, the more it gains all the places you've been, all the people you've met, all the things you've done, becomes your jacket, molds around you, becomes quite personal. So you really love that jacket in that sense.
Now we're headed downstairs to check out the factory floor, where some of Barbour's classic wax jackets are still being manufactured by hand. This South Shields factory has been in operation for over 40 years and makes over 110,000 jackets annually, passing through dozens of talented hands along the way.
Janet, Ben,
Hiya.
nice to meet you.
You do.
Thanks for showing me around. This is where it all begins. I mean,
All
the,
begins.
the fabric Barbour is so synonymous for. So these are all the components.
So these will be all the components for this one here. And this tells me it's a size 36 and I've got 22 jackets in that pack.
There's 22 jackets in there.
22 unthorn proof.
It's so cool to see the jacket in this form. Now we get to see how it actually comes together. And so each station a different section.
Yes,
Got
yes. About 55 minutes.
55 minutes.
A jacket. I don't think people sometimes realise how much detail's actually in it.
Yeah, it really puts it all into perspective. Wow. The anticipation, seeing the jacket finished. Pieces of fabric to this in one loop. It's unbelievable. I've seen this jacket 1,000 times. I love this jacket, but it feels so much more special seeing how many hands touch it.
But even the most trusted pieces need a little love to stay in fighting shape year after year. That's where Barbour's Rewax and Repair department comes into play. Barbour re-waxes over 79,000 jackets a year and has a specific team to make sure your beloved jacket can withstand the test of time.
I'm sure you see a lot of different types of jackets.
That could be anywhere from 60 years old to 1 year old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys probably get letters of like, this is my jacket,
All
take
the
care
time.
of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of them come in with sentimental value.
That's so cool. So you really are buying it for life. That's not just a tagline. Peter,
Hiya.
good to meet you.
And you?
So we are waxing an actual customer's jacket,
That's right, yes.
and this is part of the re-waxing program that you guys offer.
It is, yes.
What's the hardest jacket to wax?
Hardest jacket are if it's either got a lot of pockets, there are some of the more modern ones that have a ridiculous amount of pockets on.
Could I give it a go?
Yeah,
This is a customer's jacket,
This is
so
customer's, but it's
just
fine.
give me something very easy.
it's quite a hardy jacket, so
Okay.
I wouldn't worry too much about destroying it. Just a light tap in the wax,
Okay.
like so. You don't want to overload it, and just lightly glide over the surface, make sure it's nice and even.
I'm really nervous right now. Anywhere?
Yeah.
It's like painting. Oh, you want me to keep going?
I mean,
You want to go take a coffee break? I'll take over. I'm on payroll now.
yeah, that's great.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
How long do you think I could do it based on the technique you're seeing me right now? 40 minutes? Hour?
Possibly an hour, yeah.
Is that, you're being generous. It's like 2 hours. Thanks for the quick tutorial. I feel like I've got some work to do on my speed,
Yeah,
but it's not about speed. It's about making sure that you take care of it first and
absolutely.
foremost.
The attention to detail in every piece Barbour makes shouldn't be a surprise. They have a long history of crafting some of the most robust and stylish pieces of outerwear in the industry. But Barbour is always looking forward, whether putting a fresh spin on older classics or developing brand new design features to stay at the forefront of style and function.
Ian, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
This is one of my favorite parts, bringing our Huckberry Gear Lab in the field on location, now in your design studio, and pick your brain and talk a little bit about a couple of the highlights that we've brought in this season for the collection. Let's start with this jacket in front of us. This is the Beacon Sport jacket.
Correct.
This was a jacket we brought in last year. Tell us a little bit about the history and what this jacket is and where it sits in a guy's closet.
This started life really as part of a collaboration we did with a Japanese designer called Takahito Yoshida. The piece was spotted by the costume department that was working on the Bond film Skyfall. It was seen as something that Bond would wear. It's got a slight slickness to it, a smartness, but also this kind of rugged aspect as well. It's got a lot of suppression in the garment, so it's quite fitted. So, you know, for most guys, when you try this on, it kind of fits you well. It's a tailored fit.
It's a more tailored,
It's a more tailored fit, etc. So you probably need to factor that in when you're buying it. But it's got, you know, it's a real voyage of discovery. You've got the kind of leather trim here, so when you kind of convert the revere down, you've got a little bit of kind of leather conversion on the actual collar. You've got this lovely kind of epaulette-shaped pocket. So it's a really great jacket, lined in our classic tartan, which is the South Ayrshire set in the mid-scale. So all the colours of the kind of autumnal British countryside in that. That's the family tartan. You know, it is a jacket which is worked into to quite some degree, but it's also a really flattering piece to wear.
Yeah. The sort of sports jacket, where it sits in the closet, it's something that you can wear in, I don't want to say more settings, but it certainly translates well into, like, this looks great with like a jean and t-shirt, but it also is great for dressing up and just that blazer versatility, but built like a rugged Barbour jacket should.
You've hit the nail on the head really there.
Next up on the line, we got the Corbridge wax jacket.
So it's a four-pocket, you know, traditional field jacket, but it's on quite a fitted block. It does have kind of, you know, an action back for movement, etc. It's got an articulated sleeve, a two-piece sleeve, etc. We've got this feature where we have almost like a drayman reinforcement behind the pocket, and then the pocket sits on top of that. So it's kind of this aspect of reinforcement that you've seen in the archive, which we're kind of known for really, kind of double duty, double strength. You've got a polyamide quilt lining, so a little bit of insulation, so it feels quite warm. You've got lovely corduroy facings. So it's a really great kind of military piece, one that you'll have for a number of years.
Last, certainly not least, we've been talking a lot of waxed.
Yeah.
This is the Powell quilted.
It is a Powell, yeah.
Okay, what's the story here?
It's a really popular every guy jacket. It's a nice, comfortable, slightly boxy fit. But the key thing is it's a polar quilt. So you have this kind of traditional 2-inch box quilted to this kind of like lovely polyester fleece on the inside. So it keeps you warm, or warm enough you should say, without getting too hot. Immediately feels warm when you put it on. You've got corduroy facing on the inner collar, and then you've got the edge of the collar, which is lined in leather. You got a little bit of a half moon on the back in leather as well, which when you wear it just elevates it a little bit. And you've got the edge of the sleeves in leather as well. So all the bits where you might get a little bit of wear, you know, we've taken care of that. 2 just easy flat pockets with retention studs, and then a zip safe pocket as well for your wallet. So all in all, really, it's one of our easiest jackets to wear. It goes with everything.
Yeah.
You can dress it up or you dress it down.
Yeah. Sort of like a matte finish in a way. Like obviously a lot of quilted jackets, shiny, more outdoor specific, but I think speaking to that like wearability and, you know, not ruggedness necessarily, but I really love how it sort of feels and looks. Ian, thank you so much for the rundown.
Pleasure,
That
mate.
was, I feel like I've gone to Barbour University. It's been a crash course today, but I thought I knew the brand, but until you're actually here and see it all, you have no idea. And to being able to see all of the design detail and attention that goes into every jacket, and it just gives me a whole new sort of view on these pieces that I've seen 100 times before in our offices. So really appreciate the history lesson, and then obviously the rundown of an incredible grouping of product that we're very fortunate to carry at Huckberry. It's not everything, obviously, but that's for another gear lab, another excuse to come back and visit. So
You're always welcome.
yeah, really appreciate it.
Great, real pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
You guys want to see what I bought? Inspired by Ian and Steve McQueen. Someone move my motorcycle? That's a wrap.